Hi everybody, it's Christy. I want to thank you so much for your patience over the last 6 months, really, 5 to 6 months. We've had a lot of things going on in our lives, and I had started a new job in November of last year, and it was quite a bit of travel. But on top of that, we also had to put our boy dog down in January, and then I've had some health issues, kind of surrounding infertility issues, and we've been trying to sort all of that out. Everything's good. I just wanted to give you a quick update of where I've been, but thank you for asking where I've been and the questions, and for all the new subscribers. Hopefully we can get back onto a schedule with filming maybe once a week, or I'm going to try to do something once a week. We'll see if that is able to happen, because as you know, if you have rheumatoid arthritis, sometimes the other things in your life have to take priority, and your health being numero uno. So we will work towards that, but I'm happy to be back and happy to be working on this video here. Back in December, when I asked you for video ideas, a lot of you asked for ideas on exercising with rheumatoid arthritis and perhaps any other physical challenges that you may have or be facing. I think it's really important for you to discuss with your care team, with your provider and your physician, your nurse, anybody that you're working with for your management of your disease, to really work with them to try to help find and tailor a specific regimen, exercise regimen specifically for you. That having been said, I do think that it's beneficial for you to look into mostly non-impact type of exercises. So by that I mean swimming or biking or walking even. If you walk at a decent pace and aren't like super fast walking, then it's pretty low impact on your joints. The other things you need to consider is if you're really struggling with problems with your feet, you may have to look, like I said, into swimming. Go into the deep end of the pool, wear a life jacket, or use a float board if you have to, and still get movement without having any kind of weight on your feet or on your knees or your hips or whatever joint is really problematic for you. So for myself, with my pain and stiffness being primarily in my hands and my feet, I used to love to run, and I can't run any longer. And so with that, I've really struggled to find things that I really like to do. I do have a kind of hill climber elliptical type machine at the gym that I like to use. And I actually don't go very long. I go for 20 minutes, and I increase the intensity and the incline every minute for 5 minutes, and then I back it down to the base level and I go back up for 5 minutes. Then I back it down and go back up. So I have some interval training in there, and I find that for me that's enough to keep my metabolism kind of jump started and going. And then I supplement with weights, which I'll talk about here in a minute. I initially actually started doing that workout cardio routine from Body for Life when I was doing that challenge maybe 8 to 10 years ago. And I really like the way that it jumpstarts my metabolism and keeps me going. So that's what I continue to stick with primarily for cardio. Also, now that it's spring and summer and it's getting nicer out, I'm riding my bike and doing as many things outside as I possibly can. So my current workout routine, now that I'm back home, that I'll be doing is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I go to yoga for an hour at the gym, and then I do 20 minutes of cardio, and then I do some weightlifting. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I walk Violet. So we try to walk and Saturdays, if I'm home or not busy with other activities, we try to walk for 30 minutes at a minimum. Now, she has other walks perhaps throughout the week, but those are the ones that I really try to stick on the schedule and stay on top of. So that's currently what I'm doing. I mentioned yoga. I think, as long as you're cleared by your physician, yoga is an excellent way for somebody with rheumatoid arthritis to maintain flexibility and strength. A lot of people don't think about yoga as a strength regimen, but it definitely can be. There are poses that are challenging to your leg and your arm muscles, and especially your core muscles. If you're doing it right, you should be able to keep a little bit of tone in your muscles. Another exercise that I've heard a lot of people talk about is Tai Chi. That's been recommended for me quite a bit, but I haven't yet had the chance to actually do that. Another activity that I actually love to do, we just recently started having classes in my area, is barre, B-A-R-R-E. I think it's a combination of Pilates and ballet. And there are movies that you can watch, DVDs that you can buy electronically or actual DVDs. And then there's a ton of videos on YouTube of actually how to do these things. So what I like about barre is that it is very low impact and they're short, quiet movements. So you kind of pulse a muscle, you know, and that may be as far as you go with your exercise, or as you're lifting a leg, you may only go that far. But you'll be really surprised if you do try it. You'll really be surprised how well that works your muscles and kind of tones you up and gives you kind of that lean muscle that a lot of us are looking for. Now, if you're a guy and you're thinking, I don't want to do barre, I don't want to do ballet, or I don't know if I want to do yoga, those kinds of things, keep in mind that if you're still struggling to find something that's working for you, there are a ton of YouTube videos out there on just about anything you can think of, exercise-wise, that you may want to try. So you can do that from the comfort of your own home, comfort of your own bedroom, you know, without any kind of embarrassment or feeling like I'm going to look like a fool out there my first time. So I would recommend that all of you kind of give that a shot. Since I didn't have barre in my area, I did have a couple of online videos that I could watch, but I also have found a few barre videos out there on YouTube that I can refer to, so I think that's really good as well. The main thing to keep in mind with your workout, I think, is to listen to your body and not punish yourself. You need to listen to your body. When it's telling you you're doing too much, you're doing too much. When it's telling you that you shouldn't be doing that kind of exercise, you probably shouldn't be doing that kind of exercise. If you don't listen to your body, who will? And we should all know by now, especially with rheumatoid arthritis, that when we push it, it is not good for us in the long run. It takes us longer to recover. It takes us longer to kind of get back into the swing of things. So my advice would be just to take it at your own pace. You're not in competition with anybody. You're not in competition even with yourself. All you're doing is day by day, you're figuring out what your body needs, what your body can do, and what it can't do. For example, 2 days ago on Wednesday, I'm filming on Friday. On Wednesday, I did my workout, but it was kind of tough for me. The arch of my left foot was really hurting, and I just was getting a little more winded more than normal. And I had to take that as a sign that I just needed to back off, do what I could, still get some activity in, but I didn't have to push it as hard as I would another day. And then today, on Friday, I killed it. I kicked ass out there because my body felt better, and you know, it was able to do what I wanted it to do today with my yoga, my weightlifting, and my cardio. So I think it's really important to keep in mind that you are not in competition with anybody. You are there to get some activity, to get some movement going in your body and your joints, and go from there. If you have to stop in the middle of a set of weights, for example, stop. You're just going to hurt yourself more and not be able to do weights in a couple of days. So it's important for you to take the time that you need to, heal and get the things done that you need. The other thing I think I was thinking about when these questions first came up in the comment feed was about weights. Sometimes it's hard for me with the stiffness and the soreness in my hands. Sometimes it's hard for me to grip weights. That does not mean, however, that you can't do weight-bearing types of things. For me, yoga is enough. I'm a bigger gal as it is. I've got muscle under, whatever else is going on. So if I could only do yoga poses, that keeps me toned enough to feel okay about myself and feel like I've actually done something. The other things that I found is some modifications. So if I don't feel like I can be up on my hands to do push-ups, sometimes I'll drop down to my elbows and just do knee push-ups. So I'm still getting that movement in the upper part of my body, but I'm not putting that weight on my hands. My recommendation for stuff like that is to work with a personal trainer. Now, I can't afford to have a personal trainer all the time. I'm not Gwyneth Paltrow or somebody like that. But I do think that a well-versed personal trainer, even if you only work with them 1 or 2 sessions, can give you a lot of tips and tricks on how to modify exercises and modify weights, whether it's straps or handles or, you know, wraps or different things that you can do to really help you overcome those days where you just feel like you can't put the weight on the joint that's requiring you to do the lifting. So that would be my advice for that. Check and see with your local gym if you have a gym membership, or even your local rec center. Your rec center or your YMCA, most of those places have personal trainers that come in, and most of those personal trainers will do 1 or 2 sessions without you having to sign up for a whole thing. If they won't, then I just think that's bad business, and you probably need to look for somebody anyway. Because then if you have additional questions, then you can go back for another session. So keep that in mind as well. The last thing I want to talk about is nutrition. I don't think that any exercise routine will do you any good if you don't have proper nutrition. And I am not the best one. I have not had proper nutrition. I have not been really super careful about that my whole life. But I do know that I feel better when I eat better. I do better with my workout routines when I eat better. And I'm just overall more successful with those types of things when I eat well. So I do think it's important for you to keep that in mind and try to find, like I talked about maybe a couple videos ago, try to find those trigger foods for you. What is causing you to become inflamed? What irritates you? Alcohol for me irritates my rheumatoid arthritis. Makes me more stiff the next day, makes me more sore. So I have to know that consuming that is going to make me feel like that, and I choose to either do that or not do that. So those are the kinds of things that I think you need to start paying attention to, in addition to getting yourself into a workout routine. Another thing I would say is to start out slowly. Obviously talk to your physician and your team, like I mentioned before, but definitely start out slowly. You don't want to jump into something and then, you know, push it too hard and not be able to get back into that motivation and that routine for 2 weeks. So start out slowly. Like I said, you're not in competition with anybody. You just have to figure out every single day what works for you, and it's going to be different for some days. Some days will be the same. And you have to give yourself the permission for your days to be different, and for your level of effort to be different based off of what your body can or can't do. So those are some quick tips on exercising, and I hope that answers some of your questions. If you have any additional ones, please leave them below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.